Cass. Welcome back to a new reading vlog, a very special reading vlog because it is my birthday week this week. Today is the last day of me being 22. Tomorrow, March 7th, is my birthday and I am so excited. I actually have quite an exciting TBR planned for you guys. I thought I'd make it extra special because it's my birthday and I can. Starting with two mangas that I want to get to, we have the Apothecary Diaries Volume 2, as well as, of course, Frieren Beyond Journey's End Volume 12. If you don't know, Frieren is my favorite manga of all time, and the newest volume came out at the end of February, or I think it was mid-February. I'm honestly not sure. However, I decided to save this for I could read it tomorrow on my birthday, and I'll actually be starting with the Apothecary Diaries, but I have two other very exciting books on this TBR. And those two books are A Clash of Tides by Olivia Marr and Sky Stitcher by A.C. Guess. Now, you may have never heard of these books, and that is completely understandable because they are new releases. However, something very exciting about both of these books is the fact that my art is in them. If you don't know, I am a fantasy cartographer, so I draw maps for books. I work with a lot of independent authors, which is very exciting, and I worked on so many commissions last year, and finally the books that they are a part of are coming out, and these are the two current books that are released that I have my hands on, and I thought, what better time to read them than during my birthday month. I am very keen to be getting to read these novels, and I'm also very excited about the manga selection I've got going on here. I will be starting, like I said, with the Apothecary Diaries. I've watched a few episodes into the anime, so I think I know what this volume covers. I just don't know like how far into it does cover, if that makes sense. However, I also wanted to talk about something else that was very fun that happened sort of recently. Along with drawing maps for authors, I also have my own art shop where I sell my maps as well as bookmarks, tote bags, hopefully soon to be book sleeves. I'm working on being able to get these released in the summer, so please be sure to keep an eye out. You can follow me on my social media, especially Instagram, to keep up with those, but I already have some fabric picked out and other very exciting things in terms of book sleeves. But recently I had a new bookmark collection drop. Oh my gosh, actually they're all in the correct order. Oh my goodness. So I sell these in sets of 2. I just wanted to briefly talk about them. We have the Pretty in Pink collection, my Valentine's Day collection, my D&D collection, and then the Shamrock comes with a free random or a free choice bookmark. I have released 3 or 4 collections at this point, or I guess like 3 or 4 shop drops. That's something I really want to focus on in 2025, is expanding my product lines as well as continuing to design products that I already do have in my shop, and just really focus on doing that this year. However, since July I have been working like non-stop on commissions, and do not get me wrong, I absolutely love my commissions. I love working with the authors that I've got to, and they are all so delightful and have really made me push outside my comfort zone in terms of my creativity. So don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. However, that's all I've been able to focus on for like half a year, is just catching up on commissions perpetually. And I finally decided to take March off, and I have more maps booked in like April and so on, but March is a month that I'm completely off on. But I have one final map that I need to finish. I'm not going to be able to like finish it on camera with you guys. However, I thought it would still be fun to sit down and start this vlog off by doing a bit of drawing. That way we can all feel productive together and get one step closer to being done with this map. I really am hoping to finish it today, but I'm not going to be vlogging too much today because my brother actually flew in for my birthday, so we've been doing a bunch of different things here in Florida, and it's just been so much fun. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get to drawing. I'm going to read the Apothecary Diaries later today, and then I will give you an update tomorrow on my birthday, and also read Frieren, which I am so excited about. I'm so glad that I decided to save it for my birthday, because then it's like a little birthday treat for myself. I'll give you 3 guesses to guess what day it is. So, no, it's not my birthday. No, I have not vlogged for the past 11 days. And it's been a lot. There's a lot on my mind and a lot that I'm going to talk through. But in the meantime, first let's celebrate that it is St. Patty's Day, my favorite holiday. If you know, you know, okay? It's been 3 years. I feel like I can now say that if you know, you know. You know, if you've been there from the start, you get it. You get me, you know? Anyways, I love it. Also debuting my new sweatshirt. I got a sweatshirt last year. It said Shenanigans Squad, and I got it as a joke. And you can ask Katie. I wear that thing like almost every day when I'm like chilling at home. I have like 3 shirts that I wear, and that one is heavily in rotation. And now that this one has made its debut, it's getting added to the cycle. So I'm gonna have 2 obnoxious green shirts that I wear when I work from home, and it's great. I love it. Anyways, before I talk about everything that's on my mind, let's talk about the Apothecary Diaries Volume 2. I'm gonna hold up Volume 3 because the library kept sending me emails being like, your book is overdue, your book is overdue, we are going to fine you, we are going to charge you if you do not return Volume 2 to the library right this instant. And I was like, okay, I don't want to pay you money, so here is the book back. So I haven't read Volume 3, but I did read Volume 2, and that was literally the last book that I've read. I basically got sick for a week and then had a lot going on, so that's why there's like no updates. And the TBR for the video is changing as well. We'll get to that, but first, the Apothecary Diaries Volume 2. I don't have like too many things to say on it. I feel like I don't really have much to say on mangas because there's not really that much going on, and I just really enjoy reading them for funsies, enjoying the art, all of that. I loved a lot of the scenes that we got in Volume 2. The humor is just right up my alley. Mama as a character is just so funny. She's honestly one of my new faves in terms of like main characters from manga/anime. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really missed the series. It hasn't been that long since I read Volume 1. I just hadn't got around to picking it up. And then when I did, I was like, oh yeah, wait, no, I really love this series. So I'm having a really great time. I hope to read Volume 3 one of these days. Probably soon-ish, maybe. That's a very vague timeline, but I am enjoying the series. I know I keep saying this, but I want to watch the anime and I want to continue reading the manga. I haven't read Frieren. In case you're wondering how bad my mental state has been, I have yet to read Frieren, and it's been out for over a month now. So anyways, let's chat. So like I said, I actually got sick. I think I said in the intro that my brother came down to visit me, which was so much fun. We hung out. I finally beat my first Zelda game with him. We played 4 Swords and he wrecked me every single time, but I beat him once. It's like a collaborative game, but then it like ranks you based on like how well you did. And I suck at video games. My brother has played video games like his entire life. So I beat him once and I was like, I love it. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. I did start feeling like a little iffy the day I actually started this vlog, and I was like, no, I'm fine. We're gonna keep doing stuff because my brother came all this way. I'm not gonna slow down, it's fine. And like I said in the intro, I had like my one last commission that I did finally finish it. So I was kind of at the point where I was catching up with all my work and determined to take more of March off and relax a little bit more and kind of figure out my work-life balance, because I have been reaching burnout so hard and I didn't want to hit the wall, and then I hit the wall and it just kind of all went to shit. I did get sick on my birthday. Well, kind of on my birthday. I felt really shitty on my birthday, like the second half. And then I dropped my brother off the next day and I went home and then I slept for like 2 days straight. I forgot it was daylight savings. I literally didn't even know what day or time it was. It was not fun. And then I've had like a lingering like weakness for the past like week, basically. Today is the first day, honestly, that I'm feeling like normal-ish. This weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, was okay. However, sorry, there's gonna be a lot of just like side tangents, so just like buckle up, okay? We'll get back to books eventually. But this weekend, I actually joined a stunt group, so I'm learning the basics of like stage combat, and they're 5-hour practices on both Saturday and Sunday. So I did like 10-hour of like outdoor physical activity, and I do like real fighting, like Taekwondo and stuff, but it's typically like an hour indoors. And I'm not a big fan of the outdoors. Like, I like it in small quantities, but 5 hours in the Florida heat was a little intense. So I feel like that also didn't help, that I was like starting to feel better, and then I immediately had like 5 hours of physical activity outside, and then I would come home and be like, okay, you can't nap, you need to work, and I would just be like really groggy the rest of the day. So I got to actually like reset my schedule, kind of get into the rhythm of things, and it's St. Patty's Day, and I feel like I'm just like magically healed from the power of the holiday. That's so stupid. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, I have a couple of projects I actually wanted to show you because it kind of leads me into where this is going, which you probably saw from the title, because I'm kind of quitting booktube, and I hate to say it. However, first let me just show you my art. I finally started my Roshar map. Now, Roshar is from the Stormlight Archives. I'm on the final hurdle of this map. I know it doesn't look like it, but everything I have done is what takes me like the majority of time to do. The titles and the water, especially. And there's not that many trees. I shade each tree individually, so if it has a big forest, like, it takes me a while. So the water is done. I do need to do the border and stuff, but I feel like I can finish it today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. I'm very, very ambitious. And then I have another project that I actually worked on this morning. Bro, sorry, we're getting a little too casual around here. It was so fun. I like wasn't even aware that I had the ability to do digital drawings to this capacity. Like, I designed some stickers and stuff. Oh, that's another thing I want to show you. Anyways, I designed stickers and stuff in the bookmarks for my shop, but I've never, well, not never, but it's just been a while since I've made like a more like full piece. It is still just a sword. Can you see that? I'm really, really proud of it, but I had an idea for like a little collection of swords inspired by flowers. I really, really love it, and I had so much fun making this. And then I have another like sticker design. It's a morning star, but the actual like pointy part is a heart, and it says, "I'm literally just a girl," and I think it's so fun. That leads us into the conversation I've been dreading to have with you all. I'm not entirely quitting YouTube. I'm just taking like a major step back from making videos. And truly, you're only gonna see me if I really, really feel like vlogging or really feel inspired to make a video. I've been posting like one video a week for the past 4 or 5 years, I think. Maybe don't quote me on that. I used to do 2 videos a week, so I was wild for that. But honestly, I had just hit such like a block with YouTube and with vlogging and recording, and especially editing. Every video that I film, I literally dread editing so much. And my videos keep getting longer too, so that's like more and more time sunk into editing these videos. And I love making these for you guys. I truly do. Like, I love interacting with you. I love seeing what y'all are reading, what y'all are up to. I love sharing what I'm reading and what I'm up to in all my adventures and stuff. And that's not going to go away, because I don't think I can ever like fully quit YouTube. Like, I've been doing YouTube for way too long to like completely give it up. But again, it's probably gonna be like once a month, maybe once every other month. I honestly don't know. I just know that I need a break from making these videos, and that I'm really, really inspired to work on my art and focus more on my art. And in order to do that, because my art takes so long, especially my maps, I would rather sink the time into drawing and focusing on my art business than focusing on my booktube channel. And part of the reason too is I am a full-time artist. I don't think I ever actually said this in any of my videos. I think I just stopped talking about flight attending. I don't know, I don't think I ever like officially mentioned it. I know I mentioned it in like my This Is Me video I posted last week, but I am a full-time artist as of October. I still technically am employed as a flight attendant. I am just kind of on unpaid leave, so I don't have to fly, but I'm still employed and I can go back whenever I want. Essentially, there's a lot of caveats. I'm not really gonna get into it, but I've been living off my art exclusively since October, and that adds an extra financial pressure to everything that I do. Obviously, when you take your hobby and turn it into a business, and then, you know, you have bills to pay, YouTube does not pay the bills. I wish YouTube paid the bills. If YouTube did pay the bills, I would not be slowing down on it. trust me, I would be sinking all of my time into doing this, but I have to focus on what can financially support me right now, and that is my art commissions and my online shop. And I'm really wanting to dive and try to do in-person markets, but there's a lot of like logistical things with that too, and a lot of investing. And in order to get started on that, I can't constantly be taking my time away by doing YouTube and reading as much as I do for these videos. Like, since March began, I think volume 2 of the Apothecary Diaries is the only book that I've finished. I am in the middle of reading Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I've been very, very slowly picking through that book. I read like a couple of chapters every like few nights, but I've always been like a lifelong reader, and I'm not like hating reading by any means. I just can't set TBRs and like stick to them and force myself to read and set that time aside to read. I'd rather just read when I have time, and that format doesn't work when I'm trying to make booktube videos because typically I have a deadline. So there's that little tangent. And it's so funny because I also was gonna mention how much I appreciate and love all of you because we did hit 20K, which is honestly crazy. And I'm like, wow, we hit 20K, okay, I'm gonna peace out for a little bit. I just want to thank you all so much for like your constant support. I know there's so many of you who have been here like for so many years while I've switched my content, and for that I really, really appreciate it. Now, I'm not switching my content on this channel. I do have a second channel, I'll link below. It's Oakleaf Arrow Studios, which is my business name. I've just been reposting short form content that I've already posted on like TikTok and Instagram, and I may dive into trying like some studio vlogs, and if I start doing like in-person markets, maybe I'll do like a market vlog or something. It's just ideas I've been toying about with, but that's not going to be anytime soon, probably in the later months, maybe over the summer. I just need a break from needing to be on camera and sit down and edit these very long videos. So that's a little bit of my tangent. I'm sorry this was such a long clip. I just wanted to get that all off my chest and kind of update you. I honestly was gonna just like peace out and not say anything and just start posting less. I already accidentally took a break at the beginning of March. Like, I haven't posted for the past few weeks because I was sick. I like could not get myself to film this video. So that's why you haven't seen me in a little bit. And taking that step back on accident made me realize that I really did need a break, and I've really enjoyed like the week off that I had. Granted, I was sick, but I still enjoyed like just not being on camera, not having to read, not forcing myself to edit things. So it is St. Patty's Day. It is a day to celebrate. It is my favorite holiday, and I had a bunch of things planned that I was going to do, and I don't have it in me to do it. So what we're gonna do is I want to try to crochet a shamrock garland. We'll see how long it takes me to crochet the shamrock, because if it takes me too long to crochet each shamrock, it's just gonna be like a shamrock ornament that I'll just hang. If you saw my vlog at the end of the year last year, I did like a snowflake garland. Same idea with shamrocks. I want to hang it on my windowsill, leave it up for a few days. I wanted to do this earlier, but alas. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go sit and watch the first F1 race of the season, because the season has begun. I am so mad because I'm pretty sure I spoiled myself on accident. I like read someone's description of a post. Like, I'm really excited about what I think the results are, but I'm just mad that I spoiled myself for it. And I've just been very, very excited to finally sit down and watch this dang race. And we're gonna do some crocheting. Oh my god, I totally forgot to tell you what my new reading plans were. I will read Farron. I don't know when. I'm gonna read it in this vlog. And the other book that I'm gonna read is Sunrise on the Reaping. It comes out tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble, pick it up, and then we'll start reading that. And then again, I don't know if I'm gonna read Farron today. I don't know, but I'll let you know. You will know shortly. Let's go make some shamrocks. It's so cute, but there were so many ends I needed to hide. So no garland, just a single shamrock for this year. It's really cute though. I had a lot of fun. Race is absolutely crazy, and that's my update. That's it. I do have quite a bit of a reading update for you guys. As you saw, I went book shopping, and in the last clip you saw that I was reading, of course, Sunrise on the Reaping, but you didn't see any clips of it in Barnes & Noble because I felt so gaslit by this Barnes & Noble. I like paced the entire store 3 separate times, and I'm like, am I just missing the display? Because surely for a book that has like this much hype around it, there would be this massive display with a bunch of copies all over it. Nowhere to be seen. I'm like, why is there still a Fourth Wing, Onyx Storm, whatever table? And where's the Hunger Games table? So I finally caved and like asked someone. I was like, hey, do y'all have the new Hunger Games book? I can't find it. And they're like, yeah, we just have it sitting up front. Apparently they just like kept selling out so quickly that they didn't even have time to get new stock onto the floor. So that made me feel a little better that I just wasn't completely missing this vivid purple display. But we're good. My sanity, mostly in check. Well, reading this though, maybe not so much. I actually made a massive chunk of progress. I went to Fable, which is a coffee shop kind of local to me, and I sat there and read for a couple hours. I'm on page 192, chapter 14. It is right before the games, and this book is just crushing my soul. If you've read The Hunger Games, you know that like obviously like Haymitch ends up winning his games and how the games end. And I wasn't sure with that knowledge, like the main, premise of this book being kind of like spoiled already and already like existing and being known. I wasn't sure how Suzanne Collins was going to make things interesting. Oh my gosh, like Haymitch cannot catch a break. It's insane. Like truly his backstory is so tragic. I mean, the book opens up on like the sunrise of the reaping, and it's his birthday. It's his 16th birthday, and then the rest of the book ensues, and it's all just like downhill from there. I am really enjoying my time and really enjoying the characters that we've got to see, both from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and The Hunger Games. The depth that this book is adding to like the Hunger Games world is truly fascinating, and honestly, like I cannot wait to see this movie in theaters. Honestly, like I know it's probably like an unpopular opinion, but I really enjoyed The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I really enjoyed all the character depictions and the songs and like the movie in general. So I'm really hoping that they do a good job again. In my opinion, they tend to do very well with the Hunger Games books. I think they're like the only books that have had pretty decent adaptations, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I am probably going to sit and read this a little bit more, but I am going to do some journaling. We'll talk about that in a second though, because I did pick up another book while I was at Barnes & Noble. My roommate gave me a Barnes & Noble gift card, so basically free money, so I was like, might as well spend it on something that I've been eyeing for a while, and that being Delicious in Dungeon by Ryoko Koi. I think this is also known as Dungeon Meshi. It might have an alternate title to that, but I was looking for Dungeon Meshi, and then I was like, oh right, it's called something else. And I guess they got more mangas that start with like A through C because it wasn't where it usually is, because I've eyed it multiple times while shopping at Barnes & Noble, the many times that I do shop at Barnes & Noble. So I figured, you know, that's where it is. And then I went and I was like, do I know the alphabet? Because I don't see it. But they had moved it to like a bottom shelf. So I found it. We're good. We have a copy. It is a little annoying because like it's slightly a different size. Actually, it's not even slightly. That's like, that's quite a bit of space difference, height difference, if you will, but doesn't matter. I have my rule about manga. I can only buy the first volume, and then if I enjoy it, then I'll read the rest in the library, unless it's a series like Farron. And then we have volume 12 over here, and I will be buying every following volume, probably forever and always. But, you know, it's on an infinite hiatus, so I wanted to come back so bad. It's okay. We're gonna be fed next year, beginning of next year, season 2 comes out. I know it's only March right now. It's fine. I'm coping. Fine, guys. Speaking of coping, totally unrelated. Remember how in my long and just very long update, I was talking about how I thought I spoiled myself for the F1 race? Well, if you haven't seen the Australian Grand Prix for Formula One or you care, like, just skip ahead like 30 seconds or something. I was played so hard, guys. My favorite driver is Oscar Piastri, followed closely behind by Max Verstappen. Love those two. But I read an Instagram post and it said, Oscar Piastri puts on an Oscar-worthy performance at the Australian Grand Prix. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's his home race. It's the first race of the season. Surely he wins. Like, with a description like that, surely he wins. No, I was played so hard, guys. I was played so hard. So it rained, and rain is kind of the great equalizer in Formula One because the fastest cars can't go as fast as they usually do because of the weather restrictions. Guys, he slid off the track and then turned a corner and slid into grass, and he literally was beached there, and he got lapped, so he's behind a lap. But like, he redeemed himself and he came up from literally last place to 9th, so he was able to score points. I got played so hard, guys, because I went in this race sitting here like, yeah, okay, Oscar wins, whatever, little spoiler, okay. And then when he slid off into the grass, when I tell you, I was freaking out. But you did not watch this video and come to this channel for F1 yapping. But if you do know F1, please yap. Let me know your favorite driver. I just love talking about F1 with people, so feel free to yap. But like I said a little bit ago, I am going to sit down and journal. I really wanted to make a 20,000 subscriber like celebration page because obviously it's something that, you know, I want to celebrate. I'm very happy about, and of course very thankful again to all of you. And I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to use my new washi tapes from the washi tape shop. They've kindly gifted me 7 different washi tapes, and this is the first time that I've actually tried out their PET tape. So instead of being more of like a paper texture, it's more like a traditional sticker, more like water resistant, and they already look stunning. I cannot wait to incorporate them into my spread. And if any of these caught your eye, I highly implore you to go check out the washi tape shop. And if you do decide to place an order, I do have a discount code, and that is Cassandra10, and that will save you 10% off your next order. So let's go ahead and do some journaling, and then I will get back to you with a reading update. the next day, and I just want to mention again that it was so much fun setting up this page, and I once again want to thank the washi tape shop for sending me these washi tapes to try out. I adore the washi tape shop. I love the quality, and if you do want to check them out, like I said earlier, 10% discount code Cassandra10, and I will link all the washi tapes that they sent me below as well, so you can check them out. And it is the next day, as you can see, and I did end up finishing Sunrise on the Reaping. Before I get into diving about my thoughts on Sunrise on the Reaping, I wanted to just share what I came back from. So I just got back from doing 5 hours of stunts. I mentioned earlier that I joined like a stunt group, but I passed my first test. We're tested in each kind of like discipline, so we're focusing right now on unarmed combat. And there's like a pre-choreographed routine that we have to learn and perform in front of everybody. And then once they give us like the A-OK, you pass, you get to self-choreograph and then kind of test for that as well to kind of test proficiency. And it was a lot of fun. I thought I would be more nervous with like everyone watching me, but I think because I've done taekwondo and had to like break a board and like do everything in a much more like stressful environment versus this is very much like for fun, and if I didn't pass they would just give the corrections and I would do it again and it like wasn't a big deal, versus the pressure of taekwondo is like a little higher. So I wasn't nervous at all to stand in front of like the 30-40 strangers that were watching me fake fight my new friend. So it was great. Anyways, let's talk about Sunrise on the Reaping because I did finish it yesterday, and honestly I have very mixed opinions on it. I really loved the first chunk of this book. I think it established where Panem was at very well. It established Haymitch, kind of his backstory and his character development and such very well. But when we got into the games, the part that I thought was going to be like the most interesting part, it kind of lost me. And it makes me sad because I wanted to feel the same impact with these games that I did during the Hunger Games and during Catching Fire. I think part of the reason was because there were so many characters. So instead of the usual 24, there were 48 because during the Quarter Quell, the 50th Quarter Quell, they did like double tributes. And because of that, we never really got to bond with any of the tributes. We didn't really have like a Rue moment. Yes, there were characters that we got more interactions from, but their deaths didn't feel as impactful. And yes, we knew that Haymitch wins the games at the end, but I wish the deaths felt more meaningful and less just like for the plot, let's like get him out of here. Maisily was one of like my all-time favorite characters. I'm so excited for the movie depiction of her. I think she was one of the most interesting characters in this entire book, and I wish we got to see more of her because as much as I loved Haymitch, he felt very different in this book, which makes sense, but also the trauma that he went through, like I understand how it led him to where he ended up in the later books. It didn't feel as impactful. With Katniss and with Peeta, we got to see like just like the so much trauma, right? And we got to see the impact of that. And it just felt like the trauma that Haymitch went through didn't match up to kind of how he ends up. Like, yes, everything he went through makes sense. Am I making sense? Like, again, like how he ends up makes sense because his character went through something traumatic, but the traumatic events didn't land as hard as I thought that they would. I don't know if this is necessarily the fault of the writing style feeling more juvenile because I'm older, or if the writing was a little bit clunkier and a little bit more juvenile. I feel like this book compared to Ballad and compared to the Hunger Games trilogy, it felt much more like pushing YA versus it's a YA book that everyone can appreciate. It felt almost dumbed down in a few instances, and that was a little frustrating because there's been so many cases of YA books that I've picked up that don't hold up. I've reread books in the past that were YA and I still enjoy them. I think that they're written for a general audience, yes, tailored to a young adult audience, yet not dumbed down, you know? I don't know. That's my opinions. Please don't come for me. Again, like if you love this book, I'm so happy for you. If you hated this book, we all have our own opinions, you know? So the first half I really enjoyed, but when I realized I was bored during the Hunger Games, I was like, I feel like we've lost it a little bit. The messaging was good in terms of what Suzanne Collins was trying to get across, but the story itself felt very flat. Does that make sense? Yes, there are important elements in this book. Yes, there's a lot of political discussions like all of her books. The story itself felt very boring, yet the messaging, good. Makes sense. Yeah, a lot of it was propaganda, how government controls the narrative, and seeing everything happen in real time was a little bit of like an eye-opener for Haymitch. It was a good read, but it wasn't like a great read. And that's my thoughts on it. Honestly, I'm so happy that I read it. I didn't have like super duper high expectations going in, which I think is why I'm okay with being like a little more disappointed in it and still kind of shrugging it off like, okay, like it's not her best work, but it's still an okay read. If you're a fan of the Hunger Games, I definitely would say pick it up. In terms of like the ranking of all the other books, I would say in terms of my enjoyment, I did put it above Ballad because I liked Haymitch as a character. But again, that's more of the nostalgia feeling and less the actual like good writing. Ballad was probably a stronger book, but I enjoyed the characters more in Sunrise on the Reaping. And that's the other thing with the characters. I feel like there's a lot of fan service in this book with like cameos, almost to the point where there was like too many cameos and too many callbacks. Instead of feeling like it was organically woven in, it was like, how many characters from the prequel and the later books can we like sneak in here as like Easter eggs? It was fun when there was like one or two and then they just kept bringing them in. I'm like, guys, slow down. But now is the time, guys. I feel like we need to end this vlog off with an absolute bang, and that banger being Farron Volume 12. It's finally gonna happen. I need to read this. I'm so excited to sit down and read this. Did I mention that I'm excited to read this book and have been just waiting? And I feel like today's a good day. I'm in a good mood. I'm a little tired, but I feel like I can definitely sit down and read this book in one go before I take a nap. Guys, 5 hours in the Florida heat is no joke. It drains me. And today was more intense because in the past practices, it was a lot of just like repetitive moves over and over again. So like, here's how you fake punch. Now do that 5 more times. So you're not really like moving and putting things together, but this practice was learning the choreography and then putting it all together and then doing all of it together over and over again. So I can't even count how many times I like fell to the ground and like, it was a lot. It's so much fun. I'm going again tomorrow. I love it, but I am always just exhausted when I get back, which is probably good for me. Like, we're getting the physical activity in. It's a good time. I'm gonna shut up. Let's go read. Guys, it's been a while since I like picked up Farron because I literally like binged the entire series in like a very short period of time. And I'm like, was it just a phase? Was I like just really into it at the time? No. Diving back into this had me feeling all of the feels. I'm like, I immediately need to go reread the whole series or rewatch the anime because oh my gosh, guys. It was so good. I loved this so much. We got to see so much more from Farron's like past party. It intertwines into the story very, very well. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Obviously, we're 12 volumes in, but it's so good. And the way, guys, the way this volume ends, I'm broken. I'm absolutely broken. I'm heartbroken. Oh my god, I need the next volume now, which I say every time, but it's so good, guys. It's so good. 5 stars, 6 stars, 10 stars, all the stars. Oh my gosh, this volume was brilliant. It's definitely one of my more like favorite of the series. They're all my favorites, if we're being honest, but the time is here. The time has arrived for me to wrap up this vlog and say goodbye to you all. I'm not really gonna recap what I read because all I read was 2 mangas, which was Apothecary Diaries Volume 2, Freyren Volume 12, and then Sunrise on the Reaping. So short, sweet, but regardless, it was a very fun TBR, and I'm so happy that I was able to finish this video, get this video out for you guys, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I know it probably has a little bit more of a different feel to it, but regardless, I hope that you enjoyed. I want to thank everyone so much for watching, not only this video, but any of my videos. Even if this is your first one, I really hope this isn't my last one, but I truly, truly, truly appreciate everyone. I have had so much fun with this channel, and it's not an official goodbye forever, you guys. I promise I will be back. I just don't know when I will be back, and I'll be back less frequently. Like I said earlier, please feel free to subscribe to my other channel, Oakleaf Arrow Studios. It is linked below. I don't know when I'll post long form content or if I will or what, but in case you want to keep up with me, you can keep up with me there or on either of my Instagram accounts, Cassandra Lynn Reads or Oakleaf Arrow Studios. I'll probably post a little bit more on like my Instagram stories and stuff about what I'm reading, things like that, what I'm drawing, etc. So thank y'all so, so much. And I will see you, I guess, when I see you. Toodles!